Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, a podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 364, and it is our Saturday morning review here at the Nerdcore with me, the Nerd Chicano, hosting the show, as always, and Mr. Young Yoda here to co-host with me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the OG Low Key.
Yeah, the man who yeeted through time.
Man who yeeted through time.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, man. If I had to do that to time travel, I might just not want to time travel at all. That's like so many bumps and bruises.
She just like falling through gears and shit. It's just like, man, this ain't worth it. Like none of this is worth this. I'd rather get hit by the train.
Yeah, no, this ain't worth it at all, man. Just keep on.
And then you don't know where you're going to end up, and then you have to jump from really high places to go farther back in time. It just seems like a lot of work.
Yep, it's just too much, man. It's too much. How are you doing, bro?
I'm ready.
Oh, I know.
I'm ready for the return.
Yeah. This is on Saturday, so for those in the public, they know that we've already came back. We've revived the Gamer Core. It's been revived. But for those who are watching right now and the patrons, yes, patrons, what's it called? We're reviving the Gamer Core. Forgot to tell you guys, but what's it called? We try to keep it as low key as possible, not tell anybody really, except for people who we want to come on.
Well, but, and people who we had asked permission from.
Yeah. So I took my time and I waited until I asked a certain person for permission, and when she said yes, I decided to really put it out there that we were going to come back. And now I hope that you guys had a wonderful time when you were watching it. But for now, patrons are watching this live and early before anybody else, and they get your episode early before, like, for 2 days actually. So thank you to them. For making all out of these things possible. But we're here to review The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Mamoru Hosoda's. I believe this is his fourth film, I think, because this one is the 2006. He makes Summer War in 2009. I think this might be his first film ever. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into that. But let me go ahead and turn on my beautiful little soundboard, right? Because I want that on for the spoiler warning. And
for
just
the noises.
I charged my iPad as much as I could. Let's go ahead and get into this. We've got quite the Wikipedia entry to read. So if you've never seen The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, then this is your chance to go ahead and get out of here before any spoilers are out in the open. But if you have watched it or you just don't care about spoilers and just keep on going, then either way, your spoiler warning is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's get this going, man. I got a lot to read here. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Toki o Kekeru Shoujo, is a 2006 Japanese animated science fiction romance film produced by Madhouse, directed by Mamoru Hosoda or Hosoda Mamoru, and written by Satoko Okudera. Released by Kadokawa Herald. You give me a hard one.
Next month's gonna be fun.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so much.
You're gonna be so fucked.
Please don't choose a German movie. I mean, a Russian movie, please. Kadokawa Herald Pictures. The film is a loose sequel to the 1967 novel of the same name by Yasutaka Tsutsui, and shares the basic premise of a young girl who gains the power of time travel and repeatedly relives the same day in a time loop.
Isn't that called Groundhog Day?
But with a different story and characteristics than the novel. Risa Naka voices teenager Makoto. I press on something else. Here we go. Makoto Kono, who learns that Kazuko Yoshiyama, Makoto's aunt, and the protagonist of the original story, that Makoto has the power to travel through time. Makoto begins using the time leaps frivolously to fix problems. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time was released on July 15, 2006, and received positive reviews. The film won numerous awards, including the Japan Academy Prize for Animation of the Year. The English version was licensed and produced by Kadokawa Pictures. In the U.S., with dubbing supplied by Ocean Productions and released by Bandai Entertainment in 2008 and re-released by Funimation in 2016. This is not his first. I forgot that he did a what's it called, some Digimon movies before this.
Digimon,
Yeah, yeah. God, thank you, Mamoru Hosoda, for Digimon. That's
legit.
That's legit, man. But yeah, I mean, was my pick for the original coin toss until we started doing some new releases. So what's it called? I mean, I already kind of gave away how I feel about this one. Do you want to go first, or do you think I should go?
I mean, I went first last time, so you go.
This is so when we did Mirai for Animated Film Month, I was like, yo, this is it. This is my favorite movie from Hosoda that he's done. And right now, I'm having really conflicting emotions whether this might be my favorite movie that he's done. And that's saying a lot because I thought what's it called? I thought that Mirai was a 10 out of 10. But this movie, it's first of all, the premise is really interesting with the whole idea of time travel, even though she does have to hurt herself to go through time travel. But I think that Hosoda creates a really beautifully intimate story about love, adolescence, youth, and basically what all of us in our old age really do think about when we say, God, I wish I could go back and do something different when we're young. But sadly, we don't think about the fact that that could have consequences. And really kind of having to live in the moment of everything that's going on around us instead of trying so desperately to fix what was in the past. But yeah, Brad, what are your initial thoughts on Mamoru Hosoda's The Girl Who Loved Her Time?
I mean, it's a good movie. Like, I don't really have any complaints on it. But I feel like I've seen this story before. Like, I've seen parts of this story before, like adolescence falls in love, does things wrong, wants to change the past, yada, yada. It just seems like I've seen this movie before. Like, I can't think of any movies, but it just seems that way. But then again, I've seen a lot of romantic comedies, so
yeah,
it's possible that, there's a story out there quite like this, but it just seems like this story is mainly focused on high school love and regret. That's really what this story is. Is it done well? Is the art style good? The art style is good. It's not my favorite art style that I've seen, but it's good. I don't really know what else to put. Like, the music's awesome. I really like the music in this for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I like the characterization of Makoto. It's the same idea of like, you throw these powers onto a teenager. What is she going to use it for?
For a lot of useless shit, as the dude who actually owned it said.
Yeah,
I gave it to the most stupid fucking person.
Yeah, I love that dude. I really like that dude. First of all, his hair was awesome. I gotta give.
Why was the time travel device a walnut? Anybody know?
Anybody know? I think that might just actually be a little bit of a what's it called, a homage to Groundhog Day, I guess, because they eat nuts or something. I don't know, but I
just love the fact that the ends of all the stories basically ends up with somebody being like just murdered by the train.
That was brutal.
The thing is, they don't just end it like, she hit the crossbar, she's going over. They don't end it right there. They end it like right when the train's going through, like right after the train goes through, then it jumps back. You're like,
ooh.
They're not getting up from that one.
This also isn't a movie by Satoshi Kon. He wasn't going to show you that, man. So it ain't no Millennium Actress or Perfect Blue, I'll tell you that. But by the way, I love that, Hosoda doesn't really, he doesn't really ignore the novel. He's like, the novel existed before this, and here it is. The character of the novel is the aunt. And
don't you think that's a fairly consistent trope through Japanese cinema, though? I mean, even Kurosawa, most of his stories came from novels.
Yeah. I think first of all, like, a lot of what they call Miyazaki doesn't really base his movies around novels, though. Well, some of them, but not all of them.
But some of them come from his life, I think.
Yeah. That's what I have to remember. Kurosawa was a big fan of literature. I mean, not just Shakespeare, but Dostoevsky and all the other noir authors as well who were making these detective stories back then. So other than that, also Russian literature, he was a big fan of it. So we don't know what about Hosoda the way that we know about Kurosawa about what is his fan of literature, but you know what's it called? I'm never. What's the word I'm trying to say here? I'm never I'm always in the mood for an adaptation of a book. I think that there's a lot of room to work with when you go into adapting a book, especially if you want to change a couple of things up. Of course, where you don't just completely negate the fact that the book had certain things in there that are really important, right? That's something that video game films and comic book films have started to kind of like ignore, is that like there's really important stuff within the source material that some people, some directors or writers, they've completely like thrown it out the window. So, I really do always, I'm looking forward to book adaptations, especially with these where it's like, now I kind of want to read this 1967 novel about this girl who basically time travels.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I was going to say, the art style, it's kind of similar to the art style of
Summer Wars.
But Summer Wars, it's what's it called? It's also not the same atmosphere,
I feel like Summer Wars is more colorful in like every aspect. Just the story itself is more colorful. I mean, there's no like boats falling from the sky in this fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, also, I mean, this is, early on in his career, he does, what's it called? This was, 2006 compared to technology in 2009, heading into the new millennia. I mean, what's it called, into the 2010s? Like, what's it called? That's why I'm so apprehensive right now as to saying if this is my favorite, because I look at Mirai and I'm like, well, that's a much more mature Hosoda with a different art style and so many things and a bigger budget that he can work with. And
being 2006, you're right on the technological factor. Like this animation style, it's animation. Whereas Summer Wars or like, I'm going to bring up Your Name because I'm bringing up Your Name. You can tell a lot of that's computer generated.
Exactly.
So I mean, you can do a lot. You can do a lot more with the computer.
Exactly. And I already said it on Twitter, but I was talking about it with Alex. I'm like, like this one pretty cemented it. I think Mamoru Hosoda is better than Makoto Shinkai in every sense of the word. I think that I think he makes better movies. I think that Shinkai has been remaking his last 4 films as of late, whereas Hosoda really does hit different subjects, but make the movies a little bit different. Of course, they similar art style with Summer Wars in this one, but I still think that these movies cover a wide range of subjects. Whereas, like in this one you have of all the adolescence and youth and stuff, but in Summer Wars you have about technology and what's called masculinity and about first love as well. And with Mirai, it's about the psychological development of a child and family dynamics, and it seems to be an integral part about it's about family in that film.
I honestly, from this director, I got to go with Mirai as being his top film, in my opinion. But I'd still watch Your Name over any of them. I'm sorry, Your Name is like the Michael Jordan to me.
Nah, man, I gotta say I really do like Mirai more than Your Name, but what's it called? I like how I like how silly this film can be at sometimes as well, even though it's dealing with a pretty serious nature of like time travel and messing with the time space continuum, right? But I like how silly it can be at times as well. Like when where those two guys are. I don't know what to call that move, but to me it always reminds me of the Cesaro swing from WWE, Brad, when he's swinging him around by the legs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then he throws the fat dude at the tree. Yeah. That really did remind me of some wrestling moves going on. And you're kind of wondering, like, why the fuck were they doing that in the first place?
Yeah. Students usually play like, what's it called? Frisbee in the courtyard. And
they're usually not picking up the biggest fucking guy they can find and swinging around and then dunking them onto unsuspecting 60-pound-year-old girls.
Yep. And I love how like throughout this movie, like she's constantly reminding us, hey, like I'm pretty dumb in school, guys. I'm pretty dumb. Like, I don't really got much going for me. Like, I burned she burned her food that she was making in a class, right?
Oh yeah, the cabbage kind of just flipped, landed in there, and just caught basically everything on fire.
Yeah.
So she was not having a good day at all.
All the worst possible things happened to her in this movie, dude. Like, she was.
I did have a question though.
What's up?
Even with her bad luck, did we ever get to see the painting that dude was talking about? That was being restored. What was it? Was it the one that they really focused on and it had like the face and then like the different kind of worlds? Was that it?
I think so. It was the one in the beginning.
Okay, because he kept saying like I've been looking for this painting. I'm like, it's the painting we already saw. Because you could just ask to go see that while it's being restored.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that this guy was coming back because he had to save this painting to make, because in his world it already had been destroyed, and he was just coming back for a painting. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of.
I mean, this is going to be the next national treasure. This is what it's going to be based on. He's going to go back in time to save a painting before the end of the world.
Yeah, save the Declaration of Independence per se, right?
I mean, he already did that, so might as well save like a fucking Da Vinci or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love how the voice acting here as well. Ah, man, these
very good. The voice acting was really great in this.
Yeah, they really do kind of give life to these characters. I'm telling you, I mean, they really do know how to pick these dubbing. These dubbers, man. Like they really do give life to these characters.
In some of these movies, I will say, Mamoru Hosoda definitely knows how to pick them from what I've seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna get so much flack for this. I don't think Alison Brie was the best choice to have as a voice actress for the English dub of Weathering with You. That was not my favorite choice, and also
I still haven't seen that movie because they still haven't fucking released it. Although you did send me the link, and I still have the link. I just haven't watched it yet. Because I have to watch it in this fucking chair, and I don't feel like watching shit in this chair.
Yeah, I get you.
I need us to get a sponsorship with a nice gaming chair company that goes all the way back. Right. That's what, like, I don't even want G Fuel anymore. I just want like I want a fucking chair.
Yeah, and also I was gonna say John Krasinski in the Wind Rises. I'm like,
I mean, see, and now you bring up Miyazaki, and I'm just going to tell you, back the fuck off, bro. Yeah. He don't touch Miyazaki.
Well, I mean, Miyazaki's the king, of course,
mm-hmm.
emperor of all this.
Yeah, that's right.
At least when it comes to these films from Hosoda, I'm really a fan of the voice actors that they choose to dub these films in English. And that's another reason why I really, really did enjoy this movie. And there was just this, this overall feeling of, even though that there was always some stakes at times, I felt like this movie did have a lot of heart in there. And
no, there's no debating that. This movie is based on basically love. It really is. It's love to the point where, she figures out she can time travel, but at the same time, like, she goes back to save herself, then he goes back to save her friends, and then she goes back in order to give him the chance to save himself and go into the future. Now, he did say that he would see her in the future.
Yeah.
So does that mean like they become a couple at some point in the future?
Yeah.
Well, how far is he in the future? Because is she like turn into a grandma and he's got like, a little side thing going? Like what are we talking about?
I think
is she a sugar mama? Is she his sugar mama?
I think that they are definitely a couple in the future, and I think that he's because restoring a painting, it doesn't take more than 10 to 15 years, right? It can't take.
Well, have you seen some of the restorations on some of those paintings?
I know. So I mean, if it's like 10 to 20 years tops, like they're in their 40s or 50s and they're married and whatever, right? But overall, it's the fact that this guy who she rejected at first, and she
I love how it goes into multiple elements of that, of like she rejected him in the beginning. So he got with the girl that accidentally got injured because of them, and then she goes back in time because she didn't like that shit, and basically she fucks it up to the point where she kills one of her best friends along with another classmate, and then he has to leave anyway because he has to go back in time because she wouldn't stop crying about it and save them, but now he's told her he's a time traveler, and then the scene where he's just walking through the crowd and he's just waving. I mean, that's a heartbreaker. That's a heartbreaker right there.
Yeah, man. It's just what's it called? It's a lesson that young people should not be trusted with with time travel.
No, they're gonna do stupid shit.
Yeah,
like they don't even bring almanacs back. That's like the first thing you fucking learn from like I'm gonna get flack for this because my brain just did a fart. Marty McFly.
yeah. I hope it was a brain fart.
That was a brain fart.
Oh my god! But yeah, man. I throughout this whole film, I laughed. I got emotional. I really did enjoy I smiled and I enjoyed so many parts, especially the family parts where she's talking with her aunt or where she's with her sister and her sister thought that she was gonna kill herself because she ate the pudding, and she's like, no, do it. I won't eat your pudding next time. That goes to show you, don't mess with the pudding, right? Don't mess with the pudding.
I liked how she was eating the pudding and she was like, "Don't touch my pudding." And then she just disappeared. It's like that's fucked up.
It's
don't touch my food.
Don't touch the pudding, or else I might throw myself out the window and then what's it called, time travel.
I will beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Mamoru Hosoda's The Girl Who Leapt Through Time a 10 out of 10. I enjoy this one. The more I'm thinking about it, I don't think it tops Mirai, but it's getting really close there. I think I would have to rewatch Mirai and then rewatch this one after and really see who takes it. But I'm still very confident in the fact that I think that Mirai is my favorite from him, and I think that these two are masterpieces in their own self. So yeah, Brad Durrell doesn't feel the same way as me, but go.
I mean, this is just another one of those Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist moments where it's just opposite. Yeah, it's not perfect, but you can like it however much you want. I think it's good. I think it's a good film. I think the story I've seen before. I've just heard it so many times of stories like this.
Sure, you never seen this movie before?
No, I've seen this movie before, but I've seen other movies like this.
So last week you were saying that you didn't see you've never seen this movie before.
No, I didn't say that. I never said that.
Brad, I'm gonna go back to the live show.
You can go back to the live show. I never said that. I've seen this movie once before.
Dude,
when did we talk about this on the live show?
No, it wasn't a live show. It was last. What's it called? It was the Nolan. Not the Nolan. I'm sorry.
You can't remember when the fuck I said shit that I didn't say.
Look at Nolan, bro. I'm gonna go back. No. I'm gonna give you the timestamp. You said you've seen this movie. You've never seen this movie before.
No, I've seen this movie once.
Because I asked you. I said, "Wait, you've seen this before, haven't you?" You said you did, and you're like, "No, I've never seen this before."
If I said that, then it was because I wasn't listening to you. Probably.
Whatever.
Half listening, or the dog was barking at me.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's it called? It was the Nick and Norris review, and you and Tony were mad at me because I didn't care about the movie.
Well, Tony came after the review, so whatever. Anyways, I give this movie a 7.5 out of 10.
All right, man. So that is our review of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and finally next week we get to do another coin toss, and we'll see what's going on. But
man, fuck you! I should get a pick after you get like 3 fucking weeks.
Oh my god, how many times that it was?
I didn't choose the rental. You can say I was okay with First Cow. I didn't choose the fucking rental.
I said what's called their new releases, okay? Shut up, man, or I make you watch Bacurau, the Brazilian Western I have in my Amazon Prime, okay? All right? Whatever. What's it called? But yeah, no. If you thought that my pronunciation of the names today was terrible, wait until next month.
Wait until I make him say some Russian films.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go ahead and send them out. So thank you guys for listening. As always, make sure you follow us at the Nerdcore _ on Twitter, the Nerdcore on Instagram. TheNerdcore.com is where you can find everything. I'm going to be writing up my own piece for the 75 Films from Asia challenge because this wasn't my challenge. So thank you, Brad, for helping me knock one out of there. And yeah, I was able to do that. So expect a review on this. Expect a more kind of in-depth piece on it on the website at thenerdcore.com. And you can find a lot of the cool stuff that Brad writes too on thenerdcore.com. So, make sure to go check that out. That guy right there.
Mostly television shows at this point in time.
Yeah.
No,
It's all
somebody's
good.
got to write about it. Somebody's got to write about it.
Yeah, it's all good. It's stuff that you can read.
Honestly, are you really going to watch the Righteous Gemstones roll? I don't think
No,
so.
I'm gonna watch Lovecraft County though.
That shit looks good.
Yeah, I need to
Really
finish.
good.
I need to finish Westworld season 3 too. But what's it called? What's it called? I'm gonna watch what's it called Lovecraft County for sure. But yeah, also make sure that everybody what's it called who's listening to this that you go and leave a rate review on your podcast app of choice. And if you're on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, make sure that you leave a like and and subscribe to us and turn on that notification bell for us. And catch us live on twitch.tv/the Nerdcore. And also, what's it called? We got to give a big shout out to our patrons. You can become a patron at patreon.com/the Nerdcore and become a member of that exclusive club with 21 other people in there. It's a big party in there. You get access to so much stuff. Like early episodes. You get to be in the Discord. Well, you can already be in the Discord even if you're not a patron, but you get an exclusive the patrons only chat and a patrons only voice chat. So a lot of cool stuff. Just go check out the tiers over there. We got to give a shout out to all our wonderful producers and writers. Our associate producers are Cassie and Sarah. Thank you so much for being wonderful people and helping us here. And our executive producers are Grayson Barker, who you can follow at Grayson Barker 98, Warlord Hitman 90, Warlord 1 Bar. I'm sorry, on Twitter. And then there is Shane, who I finally updated the thank you patrons page, right?
Finally. Took you long enough.
No, it took me having to delete some files from the computer.
Anyways, you can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at XSRK_.
And then shout out to our wonderful writers, Bryce, who you can follow at BrownRice96 on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, wherever it is. And then, of course, our Tony, our Real Nerdy Dad on Twitter. Hey, Tony, at Real Nerdy Dad on Twitter. So without further ado, it's been a lot of fun, Brad. Let's go ahead and get ready for the return. And for now, go ahead and send them out. And we'll see you guys on the live show this weekend. And then next week when we review Dope to continue our month of coming-of-age films.
That's dope. All right, Ro. Thank you for being host as always. Thank you to all the listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to all those who follow us on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, blah, 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 blah. All those. Anyways, thank you guys. And I guess we're going to leap on over to the Gamer Core. New, I don't know yet, improved. I don't know if I'm going to say that, but it's definitely going to be new. Anyways, Thank you guys. Love you all. Young Yoda out.